Injuries now at the receiver position. Two pretty big names on this list, A.J. Green and Alshon Jeffrey. We spent time talking about Green a little earlier in the show. Now priority list players you should be looking to add. And with no Odell Beckham, it looks like for the Giants on Sunday, Ruben Randle in theory should become the top option for Eli Manning. Does that equate to a big game potentially for Mr. Ruben Randle?
You got to like the opportunities that he'll get, and we don't know what that Vikings defense will look like because there's been so many injuries, but I don't want to trust this guy. He's been very inconsistent over the course of his career. Lately, he's been pretty good, but that's with Odell Beckham on the field. Coverage is going to change if Odell Beckham is off the field. I would not be excited to start Randle.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I mean, look, he's a number 2 guy who's going to try and that's being kind, masquerade as a number 1. No way.
These are all number 3 receiver types.
Right,
you know,
right.
Kearse has played really well the last couple weeks with 2 games of at least 7 catches. Marcus Wheaton's a guy you can look at and say, or I don't want to jump ahead, but go ahead. Sorry.
Well, thank you very much. And speaking of Marcus Wheaton, you know, the fanfare in Pittsburgh has been centered around, and rightfully so, Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant. But Marcus Wheaton emerging as a legit option in his own right. They get Baltimore this weekend, the Steelers do. How viable is Marcus Wheaton?
I'm glad I waited. You wrote a nice little intro there.
It was not bad, right?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, look.
And I didn't even take it from you like I did the bucket stopped here with Javorius Allen.
Look, I mean, you got to buy into what Marcus Wheaton has done. He's been really good the last 3 of the last 4 weeks. And with the way that the Ravens secondary has played, they're terrible. So it's a gamble because the other 2 guys are going to get theirs. You've seen with Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant. But again, third receiver conversation, it's not a bad situation to buy into a guy who's playing with one of the best quarterbacks in football.
All right, number 1 of 2 rookie receivers that we're looking at right now, Devontae Parker, one of the lone bright spots for Miami in Sunday's blowout loss, humiliating fashion against the San Diego Chargers. Parker's been coming on strong. Dolphins get the Colts this weekend. What's the outlook for Devontae Parker?
I'm not in love with it. I know that he's going to continue to get good opportunities. I believe he played the most snaps of any wide receiver for the Dolphins, and I would expect that to continue. We don't know if Rashard Matthews is going to come back and whether or not that's even going to make a factor here. He's going up against a Colts defense that's terrible. Where's Vontae Davis going to be? If Vontae's going to fold into the slot to take away Jarvis Landry, then I love Devontae Parker. But if Vontae Davis stays to the outside, Josh Norman style, well, he's probably going to focus on Parker, and that could hurt Devontae Parker's numbers. I think he's no better than a number 3 fantasy
Say
receiver.
it like you always say. What do you say about Vontae Davis?
Oh, overrated. I mean, the thing about Parker is if he's the number 2 guy, which in essence he's the number 2 guy, number 2 receivers have been fantastic against the Colts. So it's better it's more of a FanDuel play than it is probably a seasonal play, especially at this point in the season. But this is one of these boomer bust type of receivers that you're going to see in Week 16 that either win or lose potentially a fantasy championship.
Rookie receiver number 2 on the docket. How about Dorial Green-Beckham for the Tennessee Titans? DGB, 6 catches, 113 yards, mostly coming from Zach Mettenberger in relief of an injured Marcus Mariota. Can DGB keep it going with Zach Mettenberger under center?
Yes, he can. He's not going to get 117 every week, but this guy is emerging as a good receiver. And look, he's got
the physical tools.
He's got a great wide receiver coach in Sean Jefferson. I've known Sean for years. He just hammers on these guys. He pounds on them. And this guy's starting to show what he could do as a wide receiver. And Mettenberger's a big arm quarterback. I mean, he likes to drive the ball down the field. So to answer your question, I know they're playing the Texans. The Texans are playing better on defense. But, yes, he can put up some numbers this week.
Which tight end is flying towards the top of the rankings? We close up shop on a Tuesday edition of Fantasy Football Today by breaking down tight ends, kickers, and defenses for week number 16. But remember, you can get the latest picks for Thursday and Sunday's games right now on Sportsline.com. Sportsline combines computer simulations with expert insights to project the stats and scores for every player and every game. Get the latest picks, projections, and analysis now at sportsline.com/FFT.